When you finally stop chasing the noise of the world, you begin to hear your own voice. Silence is not weakness, it's power. Because in silence, you are no longer explaining yourself to people who never deserved the explanation in the first place. You are no longer wasting your energy proving your worth to people who cannot even recognize their own. The moment you stop speaking for validation, you start living for transformation. You have to understand this. Your focus is your currency. Wherever you spend it, that is what grows. And too many of you are spending it on people who only take on conversations that lead nowhere and on situations that drain you. No wonder you feel empty. No wonder you feel lost. But the truth is, you are not lost. You are distracted. And the cure to distraction is focus. The world will test you. People will provoke you. They will try to pull you into arguments, into gossip, into battles that don't belong to you. And that's when you need to remember, silence is not surrender. Silence is mastery. Anyone can shout back. Anyone can argue. Anyone can defend themselves. But the strongest person is the one who looks at chaos and chooses not to engage. Because they know their focus is too precious to waste on things that don't matter. You don't need to announce every move you make. You don't need to tell people what you're building, what you're planning, or what you're dreaming. Let them wonder. Let them doubt. Let them underestimate you. Because while they're watching, you are working. While they're talking, you are growing. And when the time is right, your silence will erupt into results so undeniable that no one can ignore them. You need to protect your peace the way you protect your most valuable possession. Stop giving everyone access to you. Not everyone deserves your time, your words, or your energy. Some people only want to drain it. Some people only want to use it. Learn the strength of walking away quietly. Learn the art of focusing so deeply on yourself that you forget the noise even exists. Every season of growth begins in silence. Think about it. Seeds grow underground, away from sight, in complete quiet. You don't see them, but they are transforming. And when the time comes, they break through the ground stronger, unshakable, unstoppable. You are that seed. Stop trying to be seen before you are ready. Stop forcing people to notice you. Focus inward. Nurture yourself. Stay silent. And when you bloom, they won't be able to look away. Your silence is your shield. Your focus is your weapon. Together, they will take you further than any argument, any explanation, any validation ever could. So choose yourself, protect your energy, build in silence, evolve in silence. And when you finally rise, the world will understand why you stayed quiet all along. Silence is one of the most misunderstood forms of strength. People assume that when you stay silent, you have nothing to say, or that you are weak, scared, or unsure. But the truth is, silence is where the real power lives. It is the space where you take control of your energy and decide where it flows. Anyone can argue back. Anyone can shout. Anyone can defend themselves when provoked. But very few have the strength to stay quiet and choose peace over chaos. That is what makes silence a weapon. That is what makes silence a shield. You see, when you stop reacting to everything, you take away the control that others have over you. People thrive off your reactions. They want to see you upset, angry, and triggered because it gives them a sense of importance. They feed on your energy without even realizing it. But when you stay silent, you starve them. You refuse to hand over your power. And slowly, they begin to realize that nothing they do can shake you. That is the strength silence gives you. The ability to remain unshaken when the world tries to disturb you. Silence does not mean you are ignoring your truth. It means you value your truth so much that you won't waste it on people who cannot understand it. Think about it. How many times have you explained yourself to someone who never really cared to listen? How many times have you tried to justify your choices to people who were never going to support you? That's the trap. Thinking that if you explain yourself well enough, they will finally see your worth. But they won't. They can't. Because they are not meant to. The moment you understand that your worth is not up for debate, you will stop speaking to convince and start staying silent to protect your energy. And here's the beauty of silence. It makes people uncomfortable. They expect you to defend yourself, to argue, to clap back, to prove a point. But when you don't, they are left with nothing to feed on. They are forced to sit with their own words, their own actions, their own chaos. Silence turns the mirror back on them. And that is why silence is power. It exposes the truth without you having to say a single thing. It takes courage to stay silent. It takes maturity to hold your tongue when everything inside you wants to scream. It takes strength to walk away instead of fighting back. But that strength pays off because every time you choose silence, you preserve your energy for something greater. You don't waste your time on battles that won't matter in 5 years. You don't pour yourself into people who cannot appreciate it. Instead, you invest that energy into yourself, into your growth, into your dreams. Think about nature. Some of the strongest forces exist in silence. A seed grows in the dark soil quietly until it breaks through the ground. The ocean can be still and calm on the surface, yet it holds unimaginable power beneath. The sun rises every day without a single sound, yet it lights up the entire world. Power does not always shout. Power is often quiet, steady, consistent. That is the kind of power you must embody. When you embrace silence, you also embrace self-control. You are no longer a slave to your emotions, no longer reacting to every little thing that tries to disturb you. Instead, you choose when and where your voice matters. You choose when your energy is worth giving. That kind of self-control makes you untouchable. Because the person who cannot be provoked, the person who cannot be shaken, is the person who holds all the power. But understand this. Silence is not about running away. It's not about being passive or avoiding conflict. Silence is about choosing your battles wisely. It is about knowing that not everything deserves your attention. It is about walking away not because you are weak, but because you know your energy is too valuable to waste. It is about focusing so deeply on yourself that you no longer feel the need to prove anything to anyone. The truth is, people will always have something to say. They will judge, criticize, gossip, and misunderstand you. And if you try to answer them all, you will exhaust yourself. You will spend your entire life chasing approval that you will never receive. But when you stay silent, when you choose not to engage, you rise above it all. You stop playing their game, and in that moment, you win. Your silence is a statement. It says, I don't need to explain myself. It says, I am focused on something bigger. It says, your opinion does not control me. That statement is louder than any words you could ever speak. And soon enough, people will notice. So learn to master silence. Learn to walk away without saying a word. Learn to smile instead of argue. Learn to observe instead of react. Because the one who controls their tongue controls their energy. And the one who controls their energy controls their life. Your silence is not weakness. Your silence is strength. Your silence is power. And once you understand this, nothing and no one will ever be able to disturb your peace again. Focus is the most valuable currency you will ever own. And yet so many people spend it carelessly. They give their attention away to distractions, to meaningless conversations, to people who only drain them. Then they wonder why they feel empty, lost, or stuck. The truth is, you are not stuck. You are scattered. Your energy is scattered across places that don't serve you. And the moment you learn to pull it back, to focus inward, everything in your life begins to shift. Think about it. What you focus on grows. If you spend your days obsessing over negativity, that's what multiplies. If you keep replaying the same hurt, the same mistakes, the same doubts, that is what expands in your mind until it consumes you. But if you take that same focus and redirect it towards growth, discipline, healing, and building your dreams, your entire reality transforms. You are not powerless. You are powerful, but your power lies in where you choose to place your focus. Most people live in a cycle of distraction. They wake up and immediately give their attention to the world, scrolling through feeds, consuming other people's lives, comparing themselves, wasting energy on things that don't matter. Then they wonder why they feel so drained before the day has even started. It's because their focus has already been spent. They've already poured their most valuable energy into things that will never give them anything back. You cannot keep pouring into emptiness and expect to feel full. Focus is about discipline. It's about saying no, even when it's uncomfortable. No to drama, no to gossip, no to things that steal your energy, but give you nothing in return. When you protect your focus, you protect your future. You begin to understand that not everything deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves a response, and not every situation deserves your energy. You become selective. You become intentional. And that's when you start building something real. There is a reason why successful people guard their focus like treasure. They know that energy flows where attention goes. If they waste their attention on distractions, they cannot grow, and neither can you. You cannot build a strong, powerful life if your focus is scattered in 100 directions. You have to choose. You have to commit. You have to be willing to say, this is where my energy goes and nothing will pull me away from it. That kind of focus creates miracles. But focus is not only about what you give your attention to. It's also about what you stop giving attention to. Some of you are still replaying old pain in your head, still giving energy to people who hurt you, still focusing on what went wrong instead of what could go right. Do you realize how much power that steals from you? Every second you spend focusing on what broke you is a second you could have spent building yourself. Every moment you waste reliving the past is a moment you could have invested in creating your future. You cannot move forward while staring backward. The only way to rise is to redirect your focus. Focus requires silence. It requires stepping back from noise, from distractions, from people who keep you stuck. That's why the strongest people often appear distant. It's not that they don't care, it's that they've learned to care about the right things. They've learned that their energy is too valuable to waste explaining themselves, defending themselves, or chasing validation. Instead, they focus on their own growth, their own healing, their own goals, and eventually their results speak louder than anything else ever could. You need to treat your focus the way you would treat your money. Imagine if you gave your money away carelessly to anyone who asked how long would it take before you had nothing left. That's exactly what you do with your focus. Every time you allow distractions to control you, you cannot afford to keep spending it on what drains you. You need to invest it in what builds you, because the returns on that investment are everything: confidence, peace, growth, and power. And here's the truth. When you start focusing on yourself, people won't like it. They will call you selfish. They will say you've changed. They will try to pull you back into their chaos. But that's only because your focus exposes their lack of it. When you stop giving them your attention, they realize they no longer control you. And that scares them. But you cannot shrink yourself back just to make others comfortable. You have to remind yourself that your focus belongs to you, not to them. The moment you master your focus, you master your life. Because focus creates clarity, and clarity creates direction. When you know where your energy is going, you stop feeling lost. You stop wondering what's next because you are all already building it. You stop seeking validation because your results validate you. You stop chasing distractions because you are too busy chasing purpose. And that is when everything begins to align. Focus is freedom. It frees you from the chains of distraction, from the need for approval, from the noise of the world. It gives you the power to choose yourself every single day. It gives you the discipline to keep going even when it's hard. And it gives you the strength to rise above the chaos around you. So stop scattering your energy. Stop pouring into emptiness. Stop letting the world steal your focus. Protect it. Guard it, invest it wisely, because what you focus on today becomes your life tomorrow. And if you choose to focus on yourself, your growth, your dreams, there will come a time when people look at you and realize that the silence they once doubted was actually the foundation of your strength. You don't need to announce your moves to the world. You don't need to tell everyone what you're building, what you're planning, or what you're dreaming. In fact, the more you speak about your goals, the less power you have to actually achieve them. Because words give a temporary high. Talking makes you feel like you've already done something, when in reality nothing has happened yet. That's why so many people stay stuck. They talk more than they act. But the ones who rise, the ones who truly succeed, are the ones who build in silence and let their results speak louder than anything they could ever say. When you work in silence, you remove the weight of expectation. Nobody is watching, nobody is judging, nobody is waiting to see if you fail. You're free to focus on your growth without the pressure of proving yourself. And when you finally reveal what you've been working on, it shocks everyone because they didn't see the grind. They didn't see the sacrifices. They didn't see the late nights and the early mornings. All they see is the transformation, the results that cannot be denied. That's the beauty of silence. It protects your process until you are ready to show the world your power. There is a reason why the most powerful people often say less. They don't brag about what they're doing. They simply do it. They don't announce their plans, they execute them. They don't seek validation, they create results. Talking is cheap, but results are priceless. And when your results speak for you, nobody can argue, nobody can question it, nobody can deny it. That is why silence is the most powerful announcement you will ever make. You have to understand that people don't always want to see you win. Some will clap for you in public and secretly hope for your downfall in private. Some will smile in your face but pray for your failure when you're not around. That's why you cannot give them access to your plans. Protect your dreams the way you would protect something sacred because not everyone has pure intentions. Some people will use your words against you, some will try to discourage you, and some will plant seeds of doubt in your mind. But if you stay silent, if you keep your vision to yourself, nobody can sabotage what they don't know about.
Building in silence also keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused on the work instead of the attention, because attention is addictive. The moment you start seeking recognition for your progress, you risk losing your discipline. You begin to work for applause instead of purpose. You start chasing validation instead of chasing growth, and that is a dangerous trap. But when you build in silence, when you put your head down and commit to the process, you stay aligned with your purpose, you stay committed to your vision, you stay true to yourself.
And here's the truth, results are louder than words. You don't have to explain your growth. People will see it. You don't have to prove your worth. Your success will show it. You don't have to convince anyone of your strength. Your evolution will be undeniable. Let them underestimate you. Let them doubt you. Let them think you're not capable. Because when you finally rise, when you finally reveal what you've been working on, the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to respect you. That's the silent revenge, proving them wrong without ever having to say a word. But what is seed planted in the soil? It doesn't scream for attention while it's growing underground. It doesn't beg anyone to notice it. It just grows quietly, day by day, until one day it breaks through the surface. Strong, undeniable, unshakable. That's exactly how you need to be. Stop rushing to be seen before you're ready. Stop craving recognition before you've done the work. Focus on the growth happening in the dark, in the silence, in the moments when nobody is watching. Because that's where the real transformation happens.
The people who build in silence are always underestimated. People think nothing is happening because they don't see the work. But when the results show up, they are undeniable. Think about it. When someone transforms their life, their body, their mindset, without ever talking about it, it shocks everyone. The glow is too obvious to hide. The strength is too powerful to deny. That is what happens when you let your results speak. You don't even have to open your mouth because your life becomes the proof.
But building in silence is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires patience. It requires the strength to resist the urge to prove yourself too soon. Because the truth is, we all want to be recognized. We all want people to see our progress. But recognition is not the goal. Growth is the goal. Transformation is the goal. And recognition will come naturally when the time is right. So don't rush. Don't beg for validation. Trust the process, stay silent, and let your results do the talking. Remember this, the world does not respect words, it respects results. Nobody remembers the promises you made. They remember what you delivered. Nobody respects the goals you announced. They respect the achievements you manifested. So stop announcing, stop explaining, stop talking. Put your energy into the work, into the growth, into the grind. And when the results come, they will silence every doubt, every critic, every hater. Your silence is your strategy. Your results are your announcement. Together, they make you unstoppable. Work quietly, build quietly, grow quietly. And when it's time to reveal yourself, let the transformation speak so loudly that the world has no choice but to listen. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time, your words, or your energy. The problem is that you keep giving pieces of yourself away to people who have done nothing to earn it. You let them into your space, into your mind, into your heart, and then you wonder why you feel drained. You wonder why your peace is gone, why you feel heavy, why your life feels chaotic. It's because you've handed your energy to the wrong people. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's survival. And if you don't learn how to guard it, people will take everything they can from you until there's nothing left. Your energy is sacred. It's the most valuable thing you own, more valuable than money, more valuable than possessions, more valuable than anything else. Because with energy, you can rebuild anything. But when your energy is gone, you have nothing left to give. That is why you need to be careful who you give it to. Some people only come to drain it. They come with their negativity, their chaos, their drama, their problems, and they hand it all to you, expecting you to carry it. And because you are kind, you do. But kindness does not mean sacrificing yourself. Protecting your energy means understanding that not everyone deserves access to your light. You don't need to attend every argument. You don't need to respond to every insult. You don't need to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Silence is a boundary. Walking away is a boundary. Saying no is a boundary. Boundaries protect your peace, and peace protects your growth. Because without peace, you cannot focus. Without peace, you cannot heal. Without peace, you cannot build. Chaos is a distraction. Peace is power. And when you protect your peace, you take back control over your life. Protecting your energy also means being selective about who you keep close. Look around you, who drains you, who inspires you, who brings you peace, and who brings you chaos. Because the people around you shape your environment, and your environment shapes your growth. If you surround yourself with negativity, you will absorb it. If you surround yourself with drama, you will live in it. But if you surround yourself with people who bring you peace, who push you to grow, who value your energy, you will thrive. Protecting your peace means cutting ties with those who cannot respect it, even if it hurts, even if it's lonely, because peace is better than chaos. And solitude with peace is better than company with destruction. You must understand this. Protecting your energy is not about building walls. It's about creating standards. Standards for how you allow people to treat you. Standards for how much access you allow. Standards for what kind of energy you allow into your space. When you raise your standards, the wrong people fall away. They can't reach you anymore because they cannot meet the level you set. And that's how it should be. Not everyone is meant to sit at your table. Not everyone is meant to walk your path. And the more you protect your peace, the more you realize that losing people is not a loss. It's a blessing. Silence is your greatest tool for protecting your peace. The less people know, the less they can disrupt. The less you engage, the less power they have over you. Walk away quietly. Detach quietly. Build quietly. Because the moment you stop feeding chaos with your energy, it starves. And the people who thrived on your reactions, on your attention, on your involvement, they lose their power over you. Protecting your peace means refusing to let anyone pull you back into cycles you've outgrown. Think to yourself like a seed planted in rich soil. To grow, you need protection. You need space. You need the right environment. You need silence. If someone were to dig up the seed every day, exposing it to harsh conditions, it would never grow. That's what happens when you let too many people have access to you. You expose yourself to energies that stunt your growth. But when you protect yourself, when you guard your space, you allow yourself to grow in silence, unseen, until you are strong enough to bloom. And here's the truth. People will call you cold when you protect your peace. They will call you distant, selfish, heartless. But that's only because they no longer have unlimited access to your energy. They can no longer take from you the way they used to. Let them call you what they want. Let them misunderstand you. Protecting your peace is not about them. It's about you. And if they cannot respect it, they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. Protecting your energy also means protecting your mind. Be mindful of what you consume, the voices you listen to, the content you allow into your space. Every word you read, every sound you hear, every conversation you engage in plants seeds in your mind. And those seeds grow. If you feed your mind with negativity, gossip, fear, and doubt, don't be surprised when your life reflects that. But if you feed it with discipline, wisdom, peace, and strength, that is exactly what will grow within you. Protect your peace by being intentional with what you allow to shape your thoughts. At the end of the day, peace is priceless. No amount of money, no amount of recognition, no amount of success can replace it. Because without peace, nothing feels fulfilling. You could have everything you thought you wanted, but if your soul is restless, you will still feel empty. Protecting your peace is about choosing yourself first, over and over again, without apology. Because when your soul is at peace, you are unshakable, you are untouchable, you are powerful.
So stop giving everyone access to you. Stop allowing people to drain you. Stop sacrificing your peace just to keep others comfortable. Protect your energy like it is sacred, because it is. Protect your peace like it is priceless, because it is. Walk away quietly. Stand firm in your boundaries. Choose solitude if you must, because in the silence of peace, you will find the strength to grow into everything you were meant to become.